Hello, everybody. Welcome to Country Then and Now. I'm Casey Gibbs, and welcome back. We had a show on Fishbowl back in March, April, May called Country Crossroads. We took some time off, rebranded, going a little bit different direction, new day, new name. But we are back, and we are back with somebody I have been trying to get on this show since day one who seems to be too busy for me, even though he's one of my best friends, Ryder Grimes.
Fourth time's a charm.
Fourth time's charm.
We made it happen. Good to see you.
Yeah,
It's
good
good
to see
to be
you, buddy.
here.
Yeah. Just full disclosure.
Yes,
You
go
and-
ahead and give them
you,
that.
You and I have known each other for years.
Yes.
Before you ever started doing music full
Yeah,
time.
that's right.
So today's show, normally I have a show run. That's out the window.
Yeah,
Because there's no telling what's going to come out of this for either one of us. So, no offense to anybody, some of the stuff we say, the way we pick on each other. Don't take offense to it.
We
It's
don't
all,
dislike each other.
yeah, we don't dislike each other. We're adopted brothers.
Only on Tuesdays.
Only on Tuesdays at
Which is
noon. We do
today.
not like each other. So
Good to be here.
good to have you. One top 10 with Velvet Chains.
That's right.
Debut single went top 10. Two number ones, In My Boots last year, and 8 Seconds at a Time is number one this week.
That's right.
2023 TCMA Emerging Artist of the Year, 2023 Texas Regional Radio New Male Vocalist of the Year, and up for TCMA nominee for Album of the Year, Ready or Not, and Single of the Year, 8 Seconds at a Time. You are busy.
Very busy, man, but I definitely wouldn't be having as much fun if I wasn't busy because, I've always looked up to Toby Keith as an inspiration, and he always said that, you got to stay busy. He always liked to stay busy, and I believe that's true. I mean, I've started to really live by those words because if you're not busy, you ain't getting stuff done. So that's what I like to be doing. I like to be busy 24/7.
I hate to tell you you're not as busy as him because you don't have a restaurant, you don't have a tequila brand, you don't have a racehorse.
That's very true.
So all you got is...
I wouldn't mind getting into the racehorse business because there we go. The music talk's already out the window.
Yeah.
3 minutes in. Yeah,
Go, Joel.
Some people are starting to get into the racehorse business in the country music scene. So maybe that's on the horizon for me. But I'm definitely getting busier for the state that I'm in for sure, and I'm very blessed. I'm very thankful to get to do what I do. And it's been picking up slowly but surely, and it's starting to get really fun.
Well, you got about 20, 25 dates on the books right now?
Yeah, we have quite a few. And we may be up to 30 now, which is good for this year. It seems like it's been a slower year for a lot of us in
It
the
has
smaller.
been for a lot of people.
In the smaller and the larger markets, I feel like it's just been slower. I mean, the economy plays into it. There's a lot of things that play into it, but I feel like things are starting to pick back up. And I've talked with multiple agents and reps and all that. And they're like, man, things are finally slowly but surely kind of getting back to the way it was before COVID happened. They're like, venues are actually starting to book in advance again. So, like, I went to a meeting the other day. Like, all right, like if we're going to book, like, let's do 6 months out. And I'm like, I haven't heard that in, like, 3 years. Like, I haven't heard
Right.
people talk about booking way far in advance in a long time. So I'm like, all right, maybe there is a sense of normalcy coming back to
There is.
to the world of music and booking.
It's slow. And like I told you the other day, because Ryder and I met about 3 or 4 years ago. Outside of doing this, I promote concerts full time. And I had him open a couple of shows for me. And then COVID happened and put us all on a year and a half vacation.
Yeah.
And that's what I told you the other day. I don't care what anybody says. For the past year, music still isn't back full time,
No, not at all.
like it was,
It may not. I mean, you say that,
and it
some
may not
people-
ever get there.
Yeah, I mean, some people may say, well, it's not shelter in place. It's not like that. It's just it took such a hit, such a hard hit, because we were only supposed to be off for 2 weeks, and
Right.
2 weeks turned into a year and a half, like you said. And for our business, I mean, we could have been returning to normal life in a
Right.
lot shorter of a time, but for our
Well, some
business,
of us had to.
yeah, we had to make money and get by. But I mean, for our business, it was a lot longer because there's a lot more that goes into it. I mean, the music industry is a huge industry, a lot bigger than a lot of people think.
Yeah.
So, it took a lot, and I think we're finally starting to maybe creep over that hill, but at the same time, are we? So, yeah, there's a lot, going into
2.5
place.
years after COVID, we're finally getting the ball rolling.
Yeah, I mean, we're
again,
finally.
full time.
It's nice to see big tours coming back, and people are working back into the normal, but it's taken a lot longer than I thought. But it also makes sense because, I mean, when you halt an industry as big as the industry that we're in, and we're such a small part, I mean, when you halt an industry that big, I can't imagine what it's like to get it back off the ground again. So props to the people that are doing it for sure.
Yeah, because like I said, there's a lot of people that are on the back end that people don't even think of.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
when you go to a concert, people don't think about what it takes to get it there.
Yeah,
all the logistics and the planning and the marketing and the advancing and so on and so forth.
I mean, during COVID, I really took a lot of time to kind of step back, and that's where I really did a lot of my learning. COVID really kind of helped in a way pick me back up on it kind of gave me a chance to restart, if you want to say that, to really take it serious. But it also gave me a lot of time to learn about the industry I was getting into. I'd always been around music my whole life, but I was never into it in a full-time professional standpoint. I did it professional. I made money, growing up in the business and getting used to it, but I never looked at it from how it worked nationally. So during COVID, I took a lot of time to really learn the logistics of concert tours and, all the stuff that goes into putting on these shows. And I mean, it truly is amazing.
You were just getting into that full time, I think, when I had you open for Ty Herndon.
Yeah, that was one of the first bigger shows I did, if you want to call it that. That was definitely one of the first ones. I didn't even have a band at the time. But that was when I first started getting into songwriting and
you
trying
were just
to play
a baby at the time.
Yeah, I mean, I was young, and it really it's picked up a lot since then for sure. And I mean, you're one of the first people to ever kind of let me play one of those big type of shows. I mean, it's true. I mean, go back to that time. That show was one of the first kind of experiences I had with, all right, like, here is how a bigger show at a bigger venue that's not like a bar or a restaurant works. I mean, it's crazy that when you get in these different rooms, how things change. I mean, I love my bar and restaurant gigs, but at the same time, we were in the theaters. It's a whole different ballgame. It's the same, but it's not.
Yeah, now you're at a different level from doing that because you're doing bigger shows, opening for bigger artists. So.
Definitely, and I mean, but that Ty Herndon show was kind of the first glimpse I had into, it was 2021. We were kind of fresh out of COVID, like not even out of it really, but kind of like, all right, like music's coming back. Let's kind of get back into the world of it. And that was kind of my first glimpse of what like a show with a Nashville bigger artist that, was huge at one time was like. You know, we had the radio room, and that was really kind of my first glimpse of, all right, you got to go here for your radio interviews and you got to go here for hospitality. So it was a good introduction to the world of what professional shows look like. I mean, every show's a professional show, but in that
some are just bigger than others.
Yeah, just a bigger level show. That was my first introduction.
You got your Ty Herndons, and then you have your Stony LaRue's, and then you have your Garth Brooks.
Yeah, I mean, you have all different levels.
You have all different levels, So you were talking about writing.
Yes.
When did you start?
I really started kind of getting into writing when I was 14 or 15, and it kind of just took off from there. I got to learn and grow with all these different artists and writers. I've been very blessed to kind of have and before I say what I was about to say there, I like to take my time in what I'm doing, but some things just happen faster naturally, and I've been blessed to kind of have a very good gateway into the music business, and I've had a lot of learning and stuff. I'm a very hands-on. I like to learn what I'm doing very well before I do it.
Yeah.
So I spent a lot of time learning, and I feel like that really helped me out once I got into the business and learning and meeting people and just knowing the ropes and here and there of music. So, and that's the business side of it on that. But I really feel like the writing stage of my career took off a little quicker than I thought it was going to, because I love to meet people and I love to talk, as y'all will know by the end of this podcast. I won't shut up. But, I love to talk to people and meet new people, and I feel like the first few times I went to Nashville, just doing that really helped me. And I've had some great inspirations that have kind of jump-started me into that. But
you have.
I have, for sure. And, I mean, Daryl Dodd has really helped me out. He was my producer for a long time and still one of my best friends in the whole world. And, he really helped me get off the ground and kind of showed me the ropes and who to meet and, what to do. And it was really nice to have an inspiration like that. So when I went to Nashville and stuff, I kind of knew what to do and, where to go and who to meet. So that really helped. So the writing deal definitely took off a lot quicker than I thought it was going to. But very happy for it.
Talk about 8 seconds at a time, then we'll play that real quick.
So that was actually the first song I wrote, and it was kind of one of those deals. And the more I've gotten into writing, I feel that some of the best songs that a lot of people write, and it doesn't work this way for everybody, but I feel like a lot of the people that I've kind of surrounded myself with, we're all kind of the same in a way with our tactics on how we write. But that song came out of nowhere, and it was one of those quick songs. Like, it was one of those quick songs that made sense. That, I've always heard that you could write 100 songs and there's going to be one good one. And I feel like that's what I tried in my early days. And, I tried to write and tried to write these songs, and none of them were good. I would finish them, but none of them were good. And then one night, just in 30 minutes, bam, there's 8 seconds at a time. I'm like, okay, this is actually decent. Like,
so do you find it easier to write on a whim when something comes to you, or when you schedule a ride in Nashville and you're in a room with people?
Honestly, it's both. I never really, I don't guess I'm one of those scheduled writers. Like, it will just be random. There's days that you can put me in a room with people and say, all right, we need to write, like, here's the topic, let's write about this in this amount of time. And I can do it great. And then there's some days you throw me in that situation, I can't do it at all. And then there's days where, like, I remember one night I wrote the song that we're about to have a lot of fun with. We're doing a music video for it. It's called Tired of the Radio. I was in Nashville at the house, and we had written at Warner, the pub house, that day. And this was in January, so it got dark. It was getting darker a lot quicker, and I was honestly ready to go to bed. And then, I was laying in bed thinking, I said, man, I want to write some more. Like, that was fun. I got to write at Warner with some, Warner publishing writers.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that'd be fun. Like, let's do that again. So I text my buddy Tyler Jordan, the guy I wrote this song with, and I'm like, hey, man, like, I know we wrote earlier and you might be tired. And he's like, no, man, I'm still up here. Like, come up. Let's. And it was not busy, so he's like, we can go pick a room and we can get something done. So we walk in there, and it was kind of one of those deals. We weren't expecting to write nothing, like, we were expecting to write a song, but right. I wasn't expecting to write a song that I was going to, really push and be my next bigger song. So we sit down, I'm like, here's some ideas I have, and I had this idea on my phone. I'm like, let's write something about being tired of the radio. And he's like, man, I like that. Like, that's a cool vibe. So, within an hour and a half, we wrote this great song, but that's just how it works. Some days in an hour and a half, you can write the best song you've ever written. And, of course, as a songwriter, you always want to top the best thing you've written.
Right.
So I'm always chasing the next best thing that I can write. And then there's days that you can go in there for 5 hours and not come up with nothing. I've been in both situations, and I feel like it really helps you. It helps you in the learning process. It humbles you real quick.
And it helps your mental state.
It does.
Too, trying to figure out what way to pivot.
Well, it's like putting a puzzle together, and I feel like that's a great analogy for songwriting, because truthfully, that's the best way to describe it. It's like, all right, you have one piece, but you have all these topics and words, and I don't even want to get into the terminology that we use. I mean, you got to go through the thesaurus. I can't even pronounce the word. The dictionary. Like, you got to go through all these different ways to write. So it's like all these pieces, and then you put it together, and at the end, it's this song. It's a piece of art. But it is really cool. It's like putting a puzzle together. You start with individual pieces, and then in the end, usually you come out with this, beautiful piece of art. So songwriting is definitely fun.
A lot of people start with the chorus and then work their way from there.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many different ways to do it. It's and that's another just beauty of it. There's never one way to write a song. So that's one of my favorite things I'm doing right now, is really exploring the world of songwriting, because there's just so much to learn about it. So
well, let's go ahead and play what is number one this week on K3R, 8 seconds at a time, Ryder Grimes on Country Then and Now.
Bust open, his hand up high, trying to hang on for an 8-second ride. The crowd comes alive as he hits the dirt. Another one gone's gotta hurt. He's just a good old boy trying to survive, busting broncs at the rodeo Friday nights. But one day he's gonna win them all. For now he's just a beer drinker, a saddle bronc kicker, a long-haired country boy, wanna-be singer. A button-down pearl snap starts to ride. If you wanna make Vegas, gotta hold on tight. It's a long way to the top if you wanna ride. Taking life 8 seconds at a time. As he drifts on from town to town, reminds him of a long lost sound of the girl he loved telling him goodbye. It's been 5 long years since that last night, but her memory haunts him every time. He looks out and sees her glowing eyes. She broke his heart and she's on his mind, but the sound of that buzzer puts her behind. So now he's just a beer drinker, a saddle bronc kicker, a long-haired country boy, wannabe singer. A button-down pearl snap starts to ride. If you want to make Vegas, gotta hold on tight. It's a long way to the top if you want to ride. Taking life 8 seconds at a time. After 30 plus years chasing that gold, the once bold man is growing old. Gray hairs and aching bones put the rough stock life on hold. As he reflects on a time living rodeo life, one thing always comes to mind. As he looks at his wife and gives her a smile, he stops there and thinks a while of when he was a beer drinker, a saddle bronc kicker, a long-haired country boy, wannabe singer. Button-down pearl snap starts to ride. If you want to make Vegas, gotta hold on tight. It's a long way to the top if you want to ride. With broken bones and heartaches on the side, it's a long way to the top if you want to ride. Taking life 8 seconds at a time. 8 seconds at a time.
Eight seconds at a time, and that was not 8 seconds. That was more like 3.5 minutes.
Correct.
So, Ryder Grimes, Country Linen now. So, Ready or Not was the debut EP, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So
I'm learning my terminology better.
So is the new album that's coming out, is it going to be a full length, or are you going to be lazy again and do another EP?
No, we are doing a full length, but here's the kicker. We are doing another EP. And surprise, that comes out August 23rd. I decided that at 9 o'clock this morning. We're dropping a EP on August 23rd. It's going to be
cool.
It's going to be 3 songs, and I figured, looking at the feedback.
So you're getting more lazy. Instead of 5 songs, you're doing 3.
Yeah.
Okay, this is just better and better.
And it was also, I'm just looking at, it's like, all right, I look at my files on my phone. I'm like, okay, I have 3 completed mastered mixes. Like, I don't want these to sit for a year, because I did that last time, and I feel like it kind of halted the process. Mm-hmm. So, yes, I'm doing a full record, 10 to 12 song record.
Will I be on Social Security by the time that comes out? Or?
Hopefully so. Maybe.
Yeah, uh-huh.
That came out wrong. My bad. Like I said, if you didn't tune in at the first part and you tuned in half, we do not dislike each other unless it's Tuesday, which it is Tuesday. So we're throwing the roast at each other today. No, you will not be on Social Security.
Okay.
We'll keep you out of that, and not, we won't have to do any of that stuff.
Okay.
But yes, so we're dropping an EP on August 23rd. And it's going to be 3 songs, and the reason why we're doing 3 songs is, 1, because y'all wanted more music out, and I completely agree. It's been too long since I put anything out. I'm bad at doing that. I will drop something, then disappear for a year. I promise we are done doing that. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to drop 3 songs. I'm going to play y'all a couple of them on this show, and then, 2 of the 3. Okay. I say a couple, and
was the third one the other one you sent me?
Yes,
Okay.
that one.
Okay, so I've heard all three. Then.
You have heard all three.
Okay.
And yeah, so I figured, you know what? Y'all want new music. Why just drop one song and make y'all wait even more? Let's drop y'all 3 songs, then maybe, you know, in the future drop another single and then drop a 10, 12 song record. So
Yeah.
all of this is going on. We are actively recording and making and writing new music. So there's plenty of stuff on the horizon, but I figured, you know what? I'll give y'all a treat and drop y'all 3. And, you know, why not? It's right here at the good season, right here at the end of summer. And I'm actually going to give y'all upbeat songs on this little project.
Oh, first time for everything.
And that is a fact. That's the first roast I will agree on right there is that, yeah, it's about time I drop y'all some upbeat stuff. So it's coming, I promise. August 23rd.
So what's the first single going to be off of it?
I think it's actually going to be this song I'm going to play all right here called One More for the Ride. And originally it was not going to be this song, but with the direction things are going, we're going to kind of walk a fine line, but I think it's going to be worth it. So we're going to drop this as a radio single, and then the song I mentioned earlier, which I'll play a little later, Tired of the Radio, that's going to be more of our experiment song, in a good way, experiment in a good way. We're doing a music video and some other cool promo stuff with that one, so lots of cool stuff on the horizon. I'm definitely exploring my options, but this is going to be the next single right here, so this is one of my favorite songs I've ever written, and like I said earlier, I just couldn't wait to get it out, so I'm going to put it out in this little collection.
All right.
It's called One More for the Ride. Our first date, your front porch, you had me home by 11. I wish we had a little more time we could spend together. You kissed me as your daddy flipped on the light, told you it was time to come inside. Before I hop in this truck and drive, can I get one more for the ride? I don't wanna leave, but I gotta go. I just need one more for the road. I'll call you as soon as I get home. Just so you know, until the end of time, your kiss is gonna be on my mind. Before I have to go and say goodbye, can I get one more for the ride? Years go by, our love survived through all the thick and thin. From that first kiss on your front porch to my wife and my best friend. My bags are packed for another long haul tonight. Gotta make that bus call by midnight. Before I have to go and say goodbye, can I get one more for the ride? I don't wanna leave, but I gotta go. I just need one more for the road to remind me why I come back home. Just so you know, until the end of time, your kiss is gonna be on my mind. Before I have to go and say goodbye, can I get one more for the ride? I don't wanna leave, but I gotta go. Just need one more for the road to remind me why I come back home. Just so you know, until the end of time, your kiss is gonna be on my mind. Before I have to go and say goodbye, can I get one more for the ride? One more for the ride. There's y'all the new single right there.
Awesome. Brand new, One More for the Ride. Ryder Grimes on Country Then and Now. When are you going to drop that to radio? You said the album on the 23rd or EP on the 23rd. So
who knows? I mean, with the way things are going, we might drop it here in the next week or two. You never know. I mean, It all kind of depends on what we're going to do on that. I know that is 100% going to be the single, so maybe in the next week that one could be out to radio. So y'all definitely watch the socials. We'll be making an announcement.
Yeah, and then call and request.
Exactly.
Let's
yeah.
get 3 number ones.
That'd be nice for sure. I'd love to see it.
Because 8 Seconds took nearly half a year to get there.
It
made it.
It did take a long time. I mean, it really did. That song took a while, but honestly, it's pretty cool to see the way that song did climb, because don't get me wrong, getting up there quick is fun, and it got about midway up quick and then it started to slow down, but we had a lot of heavy hitters dropping songs. I mean, you had Wade Bowen, Flatland, the Hold My Beer stuff. I'm pretty sure that was a radio single. If not, I don't know. But just stuff like that. We had the heavy hitters out there. Turnpike dropped some stuff on the T3R charts.
Yeah.
Like, it's cool to see the big guys like still playing, on that chart. But what's even cooler is when we got up to the top 5. Yes, it took a little bit longer, but it was cool because we stayed there. Like, we were fighting for position with my heroes. I mean, it was an honor to get to do that, but it was also really cool because it's like, man, like, that just shows that this song does have the potential. So it was really cool. Yes, it did take half a year, it felt like, but hey, we made it there, and it was really cool because we were there with some great company.
Yeah, because Boots went a little bit quicker than...
Boots went very quick. Yeah. Like, that was
12 weeks? 13 weeks? Something like that?
I think it was more like 18, but still, like, that was fast for us because, I mean, it kind of the same deal happened with the process that the radio works. When it started to get close to being number 1, it went number 1 like the week before Thanksgiving or the week after. It was one of those weeks last year. There was a bunch of just heavy hitters like would drop within the last 3 weeks that song's life. And then what's cool about Boots is it stayed in the top 100 for like 4 months after it went number 1. So.
And then became the number 3.
Yeah, the number 3
Number
song.
3 song of the year.
Yeah, so I mean, Boots had a great
and
journey.
you had no idea when I texted you and said congratulations on top 3 or number 3 for the year, and you're like, what?
Well, yeah, we were wrapping up the year. I was out at one of my hunting properties getting it ready to go, and surprisingly, I had cell phone service, and you called or texted, and you're like, congratulations. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, that's not. I'm like, it went number 1 on the charts. Cool. Like, and then you're like top 3. I'm like, wow. Like, it was pretty cool. I'm very proud of that song for a song that I wrote myself, and just all the success that song had. I'm very proud of it for sure. I mean, that Boots. No matter what we drop or what happens in the next 5 years, even Boots will always. I will always be the most proud of the way that song turned out. It's an honor for sure.
Yeah.
Very blessed.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
It was. And then before that, Gary Moore's Velvet Chains,
Yes.
a remake of the old 1980,
song.
83, 84 song.
Yeah, man, that was a cool one too. Because I mean, it's kind of the same deal. It's like there was this new guy who is Ryder Grimes, and I even said the same thing. I'm like, why am I up here? Like, why did this song go top 10? I mean, it was just one of those deals. It was a random number. Yeah. Like,
see, you asked who is Ryder Grimes. I asked what is Ryder Grimes.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
I mean, but it's true though. I mean, It was so random. I feel like a lot of people probably ask that, and I mean, I'm sure they're still asking that because it's just.
I've known you 4 years, and I'm still asking.
Yeah,
that, so.
I've known myself for a long time. I'm still asking, who is this guy? And that was not to be cocky, by the way, but it was kind of random, and I'm not like mad at it. I'm very thankful for the success, and I'm very blessed that God has allowed me and blessed me with the talents to do music for a living.
Yeah.
But when we dropped Velvet Chains, I got to do that with Daryl Dodd, and a great team of folks worked on that song, and just that whole project of that period of my life. A lot of cool stuff went on, but seeing that song go top 10, it was kind of random because it's like, all right, like we're going to take a chance. We're going to drop this song that is still popular to this day, the Gary Morse version. We're going to go redo our version, kind of like, Stoney did with Oklahoma Breakdown, or a lot of those people did.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to drop our own version of the song and see what it does. And it went all the way top 10 on my first single ever. Like, nobody knew who I was. And, Daryl helped me get out there too, but... It was neat to see. Like, it was kind of the same deal. Like, we're rolling with the big guys up here, and it's like, man, I don't know where this success came from. I don't deserve this success, but I'm very thankful for it. So, all the songs have had a really cool path for sure.
It's funny that a lot of songs that people remake, people don't know that they're old songs.
And I didn't know that about Oklahoma Breakdown's a great example. I didn't know that was a remake for the longest time.
The one people don't realize, the one I think of people don't realize is remake is Hurricane, the Band of Heathens.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize. I didn't know that for the longest time.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of songs like that.
Leon Everett's the one that originally did that back
Yes.
in 1980, 81, somewhere in there.
But that's the same deal. I look at Luke Combs' cover of Fast Car. I
Yeah.
feel like the next generation, it's going to be that same deal.
Yeah,
Like
people don't know who Tracy Chapman is,
Yeah.
but they know who Luke Combs
Like
is.
if you didn't know Tracy Chapman, they're going to go back and find this gold that's Tracy Chapman's version.
Yeah.
Luke's version is fantastic. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
But I feel like people in 15, 20 years, just like we did with Oklahoma Breakdown and Hurricane and songs like Down in Flames, Brandon Jenkins, like songs like that, I feel like maybe one day it's going to be the same. Like this new generation of kids is going to go, whoa, like Fast Car by Tracy Chapman, like this song existed. And I feel like people do that with Velvet Chains. They're like, there was an original Velvet Chains. I'm like, it's awesome. Like, go listen to it. So it's really cool because I always enjoy, that's one of my favorite parts, and I always love to do this. And we may even do this on the next record. I love to shine light on songs that kind of made the man I am, the songwriter that I am. That's what we did with Velvet Chains. It was kind of, when we were putting together that little project, it's like, all right, let's, here's some songs I've written, but let's, shine some light on a song that, was an inspiration to me. And Velvet Chains was one of those different kind of songs. Like, it wasn't the same as the country at the time, I feel like.
Right.
It was kind of, I'm not take this lightly, but poppy, like kind of just groovy, like
Well, at the time,
it fit the era.
Yeah, at the time when Gary was out with Velvet Chains and all this type of thing, you were just coming out of the urban cowboy movement with
honky
tonk country, and then that was kind of in that transition right before Rise Urban Cowboy was coming out of its era, and before Randy Travis came out with 1982 and started that movement.
I mean,
so there was a little gap in there where you had people like Gary Morris, you had Alabama, you had Ronnie Millsap, you had that Earl Thomas Conley, Juice Newton, all that.
It was
pop country era.
Yeah, and it was so cool.
And it was.
I mean,
it still is.
Like I go back, and now that you bring that up, like I go back and listen to these Ronnie Millsap records and stuff like that, and I'm like, whoa, like this, like comparing it to the country that was coming out at that time, like it was so different. Mm-hmm. Like it wasn't this, you can consider it honky tonk country, but it wasn't like honky tonk bar country. Like it was this polished, very clean, different country. And I really feel that was kind of how Velvet Chains was. So that's why we took a chance on that song.
I still want you to do a cover on every album.
And see, that's where I was going with that, is that's what I want to do on this next project. And I'm thinking we're kind of leaning towards maybe Alan Jackson on this next project. Because I always like to shine light on an artist that, was very popular and then is kind of, I don't want to say retiring, but just kind of slowing down. And I love to shine light on those guys and girls, really inspired me when I was younger getting into this, that are kind of slowing down or maybe not touring as much or, hanging it up. And so maybe I'm thinking, Alan Jackson's going on one more tour here, a short tour to kind of wrap it up. I got to see him at his last Dallas show that he did a couple years ago.
I want to see him when he comes to Fort Worth.
Yeah, I definitely want to go to that. Alan Jackson's one of my favorites. So I'm thinking we may do an Alan Jackson cover on this album, kind of thinking www.memory, something like that.
Yeah.
So throw something cool, throw a curveball.
I was going to say, do something that's not Don't Rock the Jukebox or Chattahoochee, because that's covered everywhere. But
do like something that's maybe somebody else hasn't covered. So that's kind of the vibe we're going for on this next one. Maybe some Alan on that.
Yeah.
So I love me some
when
AJ.
when I think of your voice, I think of, and the style of music you do, I think of Steve Wariner. See,
and I haven't actually heard that. And I love Steve Wariner. And Steve Wariner was kind of in that era of mid-'80s, 90s country. Like, it's really cool because there was so much country at that time. Country was so diverse. And the more that I think about it, since you brought up the comparison of Ronnie Millsap and Alabama and all that, country was so diverse at a time. And I feel like it's starting to get that way.
It's getting that way now with people like Zach Bryan and Coulter Wall.
And then Zach Top. Jake Worthington. Like, it's starting to split again. Split in a good way. Not in a bad way. It's just starting to get really diverse. And, like, there's different music here and different music here, different music here. Like, there's all these different sub-genres of country. And it's really cool. I've always enjoyed that. I mean, the music I grew up on was like that. So it's cool to kind of relive that, I guess, if you want to say that again. So. Yeah.
Grab your guitar. Let's do...
all right. Tired of the radio.
Tired of the radio, yeah. I started to say don't listen to the radio. That's Granger Smith, so... Granger, don't listen to it, and you're tired of it, so...
Exactly. And I feel like that's kind of a theme right now that you say that. and we talked about this at lunch a month or so ago, that like the radio theme is popular right now. And I was talking
Zach Top sounds like the
Top.
radio.
I was talking to my assistant the other day, and she was sending me all this stuff. She's like, check this out. Like, look at this recurring theme. Tell me what the theme is. And it was radios. And I'm like, oh boy, this is like, we're hitting this perfect.
Yeah.
Like I wrote a song that fits the theme of the theme of the quarter, if you want to call it that. But yeah, this song right here, I wrote this, kind of on a dime. It was one of those songs. I was telling the story of it earlier. We didn't mean to write this. We had intentions to write a song. We didn't know how it was going to turn out because we didn't have a lot of time. It was getting late. And sure enough, in those 2 hours we were in that room, we came up with this song, and I'm very proud of this song. So
all right,
there's another new one for you. I was trying to forget you, running the highway down, blaring that FM, nothing left to hold on to, so I went and left that town. Since you left me for him, should've known it from day one, that you're always gonna run, and now I'm coming undone. I'm getting tired of the radio. Every mile I put between us is a song I know that you sang in the car when I still had your heart, and it's breaking me down to know I can't outrun you on this road. I'm getting tired of the radio. They could play any upbeat tune, but why they don't, this late I'll never know. I can still see your smile in the light of that dial, driving with your ghost. Should've known it from day one, that you're always gonna run, and now I'm coming undone. I'm getting tired of the radio. Every mile I put between us is a song I know that you sang in the car when I still had your heart, and it's breaking me down to know I can't outrun you on this road. I'm getting tired of the radio. Should've known it from day one, you're always gonna run, and now I'm coming undone. I'm getting tired of the radio. Every mile I put between us is a song I know that you sang in the car when I still had your heart, and it's breaking me down to know I can't outrun you on this road. I'm getting tired of the radio. So tired of the radio.
all right.
There you go. There's y'all another brand new one right there.
2 out of 3.
Yeah, we got one more. And
Yeah,
I figured,
we're gonna save that. So
we're gonna surprise that one.
Yeah. So, let's see. We got a little bit of time. Let's go ahead and run In My Boots.
Yeah,
Since we hit on that a little bit ago.
we can do that.
So and then we're gonna come back out of that because we're running short on time. Imagine that. But let's go and do In My Boots, and then we're gonna do some rapid fire to close it out.
All right, sounds like a plan.
All right.
Baby, I know you came in here alone. Every now and then I'll catch a glimpse of you looking at your phone, hoping he'll call you back. Girl, why you worried about that? You're too good for him. That blonde hair rolling down your shoulder, those crystal blue eyes cutting through a midnight smolder of a cigarette. a marble red, taking my breath away. I know I only have one chance to ask you to dance, to take your hand and slip away into a midnight groove. You're stealing my heart with every move. If I don't act fast, I know that girl will choose another cowboy in my boots. I finally work up the nerve to talk to you. I see those other guys there at the bar fall off their stools and they look at you and they look at us falling in love. I know I only have one chance to ask you to dance, to take your hand and slip away into a midnight groove. You're stealing my heart with every move. If I don't act fast, I know that girl will choose another cowboy in my boots. My whole life changed when the lights turned down and the band played an old straight song, spinning you around this hardwood floor. I know what my future holds. I knew I only had one chance to ask you to dance, to take your hand and slip away into a midnight groove. You're stealing my heart with every move. If I don't act fast, I know that girl will choose another cowboy in my boots. In my boots.
In My Boots, Ryder Grimes, Country Then and Now. So I appreciate you doing this. I know we're running out of time.
Oh, we're good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
It was a blast.
This has been fun. We'll have to do a part 2.
We can do many part twos.
Yeah.
There will be
part 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Yes, this will be a series, and I'll eventually just turn into a co-host.
I was going to say, I was going to present that opportunity to you at lunch if you're buying lunch. So.
I am.
Okay.
I'll get it for us.
Pull a question out of that.
All right.
Answer that. You can ask me, answer it yourself, or we can both answer the same question.
Get them real shaken up.
Right.
I've learned doing this, especially when we play like fairs and things, they make me come do raffles at booths. And they're like, Ryder Grimes is here to do the raffle. I'm like, oh, Lord. Like, you probably picked the wrong and most least energetic person to do this. So they taught me how to shake these things up.
I'll agree
real
to
well.
that.
All right, let's pull 1, not 3.
Yeah.
Okay. We can both answer this one.
All right.
What is the best non-curse word, one-word comeback, or insult? I'll let you answer that first because I'm going to have to think on that.
I'm going to have to think on that one, too. So?
Yeah, that's a good one. I have one answer for everything, and it is legit.
Yeah.
Or not, that's not legit. Like, so, I don't know. What is the best one? Well, nobody really insults me, and that's probably a good problem to have.
Yeah, me too. It wouldn't,
I don't know.
It wouldn't work out well for me.
I don't know how
Pull
to
another
answer
one.
that. Yeah, let's pull another one here because everything I could come back with is not friendly to say on
I was
here.
going to say, I got some, but I'm not going to say them on air. So
Would you ever try stand-up comedy?
No.
Well, considering I hang out in Austin a lot, like a lot, and that is kind of where the mothership is and all that. And I've really gotten into comedy since I've kind of started going down there a lot. So, yes, I think I would. I feel like if I practiced it, I'd actually be decent at it because my humor is so bad. I feel like I could make a way to make it better, and people would somehow laugh either because they feel bad or laugh because it's funny. So, yes, I would give it a try.
Okay. I'll be in the audience. If you could be transformed into an animal, what would you choose and why? I've got an answer for this. Go ahead.
I would be a kangaroo because, one, kangaroos are ripped and I'm not ripped. So that could just be my excuse to say I'm ripped and I don't have to go to the gym because I don't like going to the gym. So
mine would be an elephant because the elephants have a memory of 10, 20, 30 years ago.
That's true.
You always hear you got the mind of an elephant. That's where it comes from.
I can't even remember what I ate for breakfast yesterday. All right.
Let's do it.
Good, quick answer.
Yeah. We can both answer this. What's been your favorite concert that you've ever attended as a fan?
There's been a couple, but I gotta say, there's two. All right, I have to give two because this is a double-parted answer.
Yeah.
Number one, like on a huge scale, Elton John. I love Elton John. He's been an inspiration as a writer, as a musician, as a piano player because I've really gotten back into piano playing because of him. So I got to see Elton twice on his farewell tour. So that one, and then most recent, I got to see the Red Clay Strays. And I've got to say, if you have not seen them, and you like rockish kind of southern rock, kind of old school, it's like an old school vibe. Like it's like you took a band from the '60s, early '70s, and threw it out in the modern day. That is what they are, and it's the coolest thing ever. I mean, the front man dresses like he's from the '60s, dresses real cool, and the rest of the band dresses like they were in like Leonard Skinner. So it's like
you see them at Billy Bob's?
I didn't. I saw them in San Antonio at the Boeing Center, which was actually a really cool place to see a concert. So all my South Texas friends, go check it out. If there's a show coming near you at the Boeing Center, go see it. But yeah, I gotta go Elton and Red Clay. Cool concerts for sure.
Mine would be Garth Brooks.
Yeah.
And Eagles.
I never got to see Garth Brooks, and I'm probably gonna. Well, first of all, a little debate here because this is a debate in our band. Is it Eagles or is it the Eagles?
I say the Eagles.
So I have not gotten to see. I have not gotten to see Eagles yet. I have not ever gotten to see the Eagles or Garth, but it's on the bucket list. I'll have to leave the state to go see the Eagles because I don't think they're coming back. But my friend got to see them on one of those shows. Multiple friends of mine got to see them on this last tour that they did, and they said it was one of the most incredible experiences. And Garth being the same.
I haven't seen the Eagles since Vince joined them. I saw them when it was the actual.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
See, that's even cooler.
Joe Walsh, Don Henley, Glenn Fry.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm ultra jealous of that. Even more jealous.
I'm jealous of you seeing Elton John. So.
Yeah, and I would love to have gotten to see him on earlier tours, but I'm not mad. I got to see him twice, so I'm happy about that.
Let's keep going.
All right. What is your favorite food as I'm thinking about what I'm going to eat for lunch?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Chicken fried steaks, Mexican food.
Good stuff. I've been on a tamale kick lately because I have people I get tamales from in the summertime, and no, I'm not telling you where I get them from. If you ask me privately, I will because
I'll find out and tell you next week.
Joe's Meat Market in Royce City is the place to get them. Some great folks. Go support your small businesses.
Absolutely. Let's see. Where did you go on your last vacation?
I've not been on a vacation in 6 years, it feels like. I don't know. I feel like every weekend's a vacation because I'm always going somewhere new. And that's part of the reason I got into music. I love traveling as a kid. So I feel like I'm on a permanent vacation, if you want to call it that, the never-ending tour. So wherever I was last weekend, Mesquite, Texas, that was my last vacation.
On a bus that breaks down.
Exactly, on a bus that breaks down. And sure enough, it's broke down again. So, yeah, permanent vacation.
Yeah. Let's see. What is your pastime that does not involve music?
Nothing.
No, you have one. I know.
I do, and it only takes place in the later season of the year, and I like to hunt, and you can only do that when it's legal. And yeah, that's in the fall. So the rest of the year.
So expand on that. What do you hunt?
I like to hunt ducks and waterfowl and birds. I love bird hunting because it gives me a challenge. I mean, any sort of hunting is a challenge, and I would love to get into big game hunting to where I really have to physically push myself to do something, like actually get in shape to go hunting, which I am getting in shape. But, like, I'm talking about, like, train to go on these hunts, to climb mountains and things. Yes, it's on the bucket list, but right now I'm just doing bird hunting where I just go throw some plastic ducks in the water and go sit in a stand and call them. And it's very fun. And Hank Jr. always said long ago in an interview, he said if you don't have a pastime, it'll kill you eventually.
Yeah,
so I mean,
will.
hunting is my pastime, and that's what his was at the time, and I'm sure it still is. But
yeah,
that's what his was in this particular interview. He said you got to get away and clear your mind completely.
You do, or you'll go mental.
Yeah, it'll run you wild. So yes, getting outdoors, and I love being outside anytime. I've really gotten into hiking and stuff since I've been in the hill country more. So definitely just being outside in God's creation has definitely been a good mind clearer for me. So there you go.
Mine's probably reading or following the weather.
I've definitely got into reading for sure. Reading is a good pastime.
I'm a big weather nut.
That's what I almost became a meteorologist before I became a
That's
musician.
what I wanted to be as a kid.
Same. So
yeah,
we're kind of the same in that
now,
aspect.
I tell you one thing I do want to do that I've never done, and that is go on a storm chase.
Oh, it's on the itinerary for me. I'm already looking at.
That's on my bucket list.
I'm already looking at red Dodges. I mean, I drive a black Dodge already, so I mean, I'm not that far. I could go be Bill Paxton, but. That's
no. I need you to survive. I don't need you to get blown away.
Well,
so.
I could. He held on to the pipe there in the end of Twisters. Or Twister.
Twister.
I forgot. There's two Twisters.
There's two now.
There's two of them now. So I have to be, and I love both of them, but I have to be very.
I haven't seen the new one yet.
I have to be whether it's plural or singular Twister. Now that there's two of them, the new one is very good, but yes, it's kind of the same deal. They did a great job on inspiring people to storm chase. There are literally news articles saying the rise of interest in storm chasing because of Twisters, the movie came out, is rapid, and you need to be safe doing it. I'm like, yes, you do.
Yeah. I want to do it, but I want to do it from a distance. I'd like to go on a storm chase where you can go on these excursions for like a week with storm chasers and because they'll keep you safe. They're going to be at a distance. And
put me in a red Dodge and throw a can in the back that's called Dorothy and send me out there. I'm good to go.
Oh, God help us on that note. All right. Hey, man, I appreciate you doing this.
Man, it's always a pleasure. Thanks for having me. That was a blast.
Yeah. Let's go have lunch.
All right. Yeah,
All right.
I'm starving.
Me too. Y'all take care, love one another. We'll see you next week. God bless. Hey everyone, I'm Casey Gibbs. Join me every Tuesday for our Country Then and Now. We'll be talking to the legends of country music and the brightest upcoming artists.